Hello children, you have studied the valence bond theory. Today I am going to explain you the molecular orbital theory because valence bond theory has its some limitations as this theory was unable to explain the formation of coordinate covalent bonds, and also this valence bond theory was unable to explain the paramagnetic nature of the oxygen molecule. Now, molecular orbital theory. Molecular orbital theory was proposed by Robert Spulkin in 1932. According to this theory, when the two atomic orbitals combine together, they form a new orbital known as molecular orbitals. When the two atomic, because atomic orbital is considered as a electron waves. When the two atomic orbitals of same energy, every time the combination takes place between the two atomic orbitals which are having the same energy or comparable energy, means a very little difference in their energies, they form the new molecular orbitals, and during the combination, the combination takes place only when the atomic orbitals are in proper orientation. As p orbital are spherical in nature, s orbitals are spherical in nature, means non-directional in nature, but p orbitals are directional in nature. When px orbitals are combining together, they are coming according to their intermolecular axis close together, then only the combination takes place. So, for the combination of atomic orbitals, two things are required, that atomic orbitals are of comparable energy, and second is they are having the proper direction or proper orientation. As comparable energy means 2s orbital, when the homonuclear diatomic molecules are formed, like hydrogen, like lithium, like nitrogen, oxygen, at that time when the bonding takes place, then same type of atomic orbitals are combined together. As 2s atomic orbitals will combine to the 2s atomic orbital, 2p atomic orbitals combined with the 2p atomic orbitals when both the atoms are same which are forming the bonds. Means the atomic orbital would have the comparable energy and they should have the proper orientation for the combination. Molecular orbitals are polycentric in nature, means as it is formed after the combination of atomic orbitals, then the electron clouds are revolving around all the nuclei of the molecule instead of a particular nuclei, as in the case of atomic orbitals. When the molecular orbitals are formed, we designate it as sigma, pi, delta, etc. As atomic orbitals we are representing as s, p, d, f, like that. Molecular orbitals we represent by the sign sigma, pi, delta, etc. When the two atomic orbitals combine together, they form the two molecular orbitals. Means equal number of atomic orbitals combined to when atomic orbitals combine together, they form the equal number of molecular orbitals. As 3 molecular combine together, they form the 3 molecular orbitals. Next is when we fill the electron in the molecular orbitals, they fill according to their energy level. As lower energy level orbitals filled first, then the higher energy level, as we filled in the case of atomic orbitals. Means filling of molecular orbitals follow the Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle and Hertz principle. And the number of electrons in the molecular orbital is maximum 2. Means only 2 electrons can be filled in one molecular orbitals. So these are the some important things about the molecular orbitals. So in this way, atomic orbitals and molecular orbitals are different, as atomic orbitals are monocentric but molecular orbitals are polycentric. Atomic orbitals are pure orbitals and they derive from the Schrodinger wave equation, according to the Schrodinger wave equation, whereas molecular orbitals are formed by the combination of 2 atomic orbitals. Atomic orbitals possess higher energy and are less stable compared to the molecular orbital, especially bonding molecular orbital has lower energy to each of the atomic orbitals which are combining to form the molecular orbitals. Now when the atomic orbitals combine together to form the molecule, they follow the 2 methods. First is known as linear combination of atomic orbital and second method is known as united atom. First method, linear combination of atomic orbitals, is more pronounced or more useful, and I am going to discuss that method as according to the molecular orbital theory. Atomic orbitals are the electron waves. Electron waves means they are like waves having the crust and trough. When the 2 molecular orbitals approaches each other in same phase means their crusts are overlapping together, their trough are overlapping together, then the new molecular orbitals are formed which have the lower energy, compared to these atomic orbitals. And this molecular orbital is known as bonding molecular orbital. And whenever the atomic orbitals which are approaching to each other are not in phase, at that time the molecular orbital is formed is known as anti-bonding molecular orbital. And the anti-bonding molecular orbitals have higher energy than each of the atomic orbitals. And that's why when we show the energy diagram of these, this is the energy diagram where downside we show the bonding molecular orbital. This is the bonding molecular orbital and this is the anti-bonding molecular orbital. Anti-bonding molecular orbital. And this is the atomic orbital as it represents sigma 1s, and when they combine together they form the new molecular orbital, and each molecular orbital can accommodate 2 electrons in opposite spin. So we have to fill the bonding molecular orbital which have 2 electrons, one from this atomic orbital, other from this atomic orbital, combined to form the new molecular orbital. And bonding molecular orbital always we draw downside because it has lower energy. Anti-bonding molecular orbitals we draw upside of the atomic orbital because it has higher energy than each of the atomic orbital. As psi is the wave function of the molecular orbital. Psi A and psi B are the two atomic orbitals which are going to be combined. If they are combining in the same phase, means the bonding molecular orbitals are formed when they are combined in phase, and bonding molecular orbital are formed. So bonding molecular orbital has the wave function which is the sum of these two wave function of two atomic orbitals. When the atomic orbitals which are approaching to the combination are not in phase, at that time the anti-bonding molecular orbitals are formed, and anti-bonding molecular orbital, the wave function of the anti-bonding molecular orbital are the difference of the wave function of two waves, as psi A minus psi B, where psi we can represent as wave function. If we have to find out the charge density, we have to show by squaring the wave function of this. As for bonding molecular orbital, charge density is equal to psi A square plus psi B square plus 2 psi AB. Means the charge density in the case of bonding molecular orbital are, this is the nucleus of atom A, this is the nucleus of atom B. Here the charge density present in the molecular orbital. So charge density in the molecular orbit, in the bonding molecular orbital is 2 psi AB more than the charge density of sum of the charge density of atomic orbital A and atomic orbital B. This is because of the overlapping of the atomic orbital. Means more the overlapping, more the value of the charge density here. What is the function of charge density here? More the charge density, as charge density is present between the two nuclei A and B. That's why it shield the repulsive effect of these nucleus. Repulsive effect means these nucleus repel to each other. So this charge density neutralize the repulsive effect of this nucleus. It means the energy of the bond decreases. Bond become attractive in nature. That's why bonding molecular orbital is known as attractive molecular orbital, and it is having low energy orbital. And if it has low energy and greater overlapping or higher overlapping, if energy is low, overlapping is high, means bonding molecular orbital is more stable. When the atomic orbitals are not in phase, at that time the this is the nucleus of A atom, this is the nucleus of B atom, this is the node where probability of finding the electron is 0. This is the case when the atomic orbitals, combining atomic orbitals are not in phase. Means one orbital crust overlap with the trough. That's why the wave function psi of the anti-bonding electron is the difference between the wave function of atom A and atom B. And if we square it to get the charge density, so charge density of the anti-bonding molecular orbital is psi A square plus psi B square minus 2 psi A B. Means charge density of the anti-bonding molecular orbital is less than by term 2 psi AB from the sum of both the atomic orbitals, which indicate that nucleus A and B repel each other, and the molecular orbital is known as repulsive molecular orbital, which have higher energy. If energy is high, means less stable orbital form, and overlapping is also minimal. So this is the case of bonding molecular orbital and non-bonding or anti-bonding molecular orbital. And you have to write down the difference yourself. As bonding molecular orbital, the charge density is the charge density is the psi AB terms more than the charge density of the particular atomic orbitals, and because of greater overlapping and having the low energy orbitals, these orbitals are more stable. Whereas anti-bonding molecular orbitals are formed when the atomic orbitals which are combining are not in same phase. At that time, the wave function of the anti-bonding molecular orbital are the difference between the wave function of the atomic orbital A and atomic orbital B. And at that time, the higher energy orbitals form, which is known as anti-bonding molecular orbital. This is also known as repulsive molecular orbitals, and because these orbitals are having higher energy, because your nucleus repulsive force are not neutralized by the charge density between them, because here no electron clouds are present. That's why these orbitals are less stable in nature. So this is all for bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Thank you. Have a nice day.